Welcome! I am here to show you how to navigate virtual digital class in case we go into quarantine or anyone is sick or you're gone with an activity or sport. Okay, so let's take a look. You should be seeing my screen right now, and I'm looking at this through a different account. I'm looking at it through a student account. So everything you should see here is not what the teacher sees. You're going to see in this video what students like you guys see. Okay, and I do have a highlighter on my mouse so you can see where my mouse is. Okay, so I've got some classes here, and two of them are the classes that you might be enrolled in. So we'll go into Math 1 and see what's in there. Okay, so first of all, when you first come in, you're in the stream. The stream is where we will have announcements. Like, for example, Picture Day is Thursday, September 10th. No classes, no classwork, like worksheets, assignments, and no materials, like notes, are going to be in the stream. The stream is just for announcements. So make sure, if you're looking for things like that, make sure you go over to classwork. Okay? And under classwork, here's what you might see. It'll be a little bit different depending on when you see this in the semester. Okay? But there's different headings. So right now we're looking at all the topics, but you could just look at, for example, just topics in a specific unit. And here they are, and here's a specific worksheet. Okay, so go back to classwork, but so you can narrow it down or you can look at it all at once. All right, so how do we do this? Important things in the unit. Okay, one of the most important things are going to be the Unit 1 notes, and they'll help you get through the unit. You can also use the notes on all of the quizzes we take in here. So those will be helpful, so make sure you have good notes. Okay, it's a light gray. That means it's not an assignment. Okay, dark gray, that's an assignment. That's something that you need to complete sometime. Okay, but let's see what's on the Unit 1 note. So if we click on that, it gets a little bit bigger, and we can click on this attachment, and it will open up a copy of all the Unit 1 notes. Here they are. There's many of them. Lots of Unit 1 notes. Okay, this is the entire unit, so it's not just a single day. This is everything we're doing in the first unit. So if you lose it, you're gone one day, you need it, you've got it online. Okay, so that's available for you. The other thing that is available is the actual worksheet. So Unit 1.1 translation. So I'm going to click on that. There are two attachments to this, and that will be true for most worksheets. One of them is the worksheet itself. So if I click on the first one, where that's going to be the actual worksheet. So if you lose the worksheet, or you're gone, or we're all gone, there's the actual worksheet. At the end of the worksheet, there is an answer key to the odd problem. So you can see if you've got it right. You can check yourself as you're working. You'll still have to do the even problems. There's no answers to that, but you do have all of the odd answers at the end of each worksheet. Okay? The other thing that's hopefully going to be really helpful is going to be the second attachment. Okay? The second attachment is a web page, and everything on here is a link. So just click anywhere, actually, and here's all the office hours. But over here on the right side of the page, I'll get my focus mouse again. Over here on the right side of the page, these are all links to different things within the web page. Okay, so let's say I wanted to see when the due dates were. I could come down to due dates and click on that. And here's all the due dates, and I see things are due here, and there's some stuff due here, and you can always turn things in early. So if you get it done, turn it in and get rid of it. But here's the actual due date. Okay, and it's kind of functions like a notebook. So this is toward the end of the notebook, and a lot of the other links are now on the left side because you flipped the page. Okay, and we can also look up at the notes. Okay, so here are the notes. There's some vocab that will be helpful if you know what these things mean. You don't have to memorize definitions, but if you know what they mean, it will help you on worksheets and quizzes because you'll know what it's asking you to do or what kind of an answer it's looking for. Okay. There is also a flow chart on the first page of notes, and that's where if you're just starting out and you don't know how to get started, start at the top. What are the directions? And then depending on what the directions are, it'll tell you what to do next. It'll walk you through how to do this, okay? And there are, you know, that it says page 1 of 2. There's more to the notes, so we can go on to page 2, and here's more notes and some explanations and some diagrams. And you can actually click on this, and it will get bigger. And you can zoom in on it, you can zoom out of it. Okay, so you can look at the different notes and see what they're doing. Okay, so especially if you're gone, you can try to catch up through that. Okay, and you can actually go back to the flow chart. And if this is small and it's hard to read, you can do the same thing on that. You can click on it, and it'll give you something you can zoom in on, and you can zoom out, and you can move it. Well, you can make comments on it. You can zoom in and out and drag it around, okay? So there it is. You see, oh, what was that, okay? Other helpful things in here. Okay, so those are notes. And by the way, if we are 100% virtual, okay, I will also be adding in videos of me talking people through this and how to do it. The problem is if we're not virtual, I don't have time to do that because that's really time intensive. But if we go 100% virtual, I will be able to put out videos of me going through the notes. So those will also get included, okay? Other things, common problems. There are some things that seem to trip a lot of students up. So I've tried to write out how to get around those and what the correct procedure would be. There are also at least 2 different links for every worksheet, okay? There is a YouTube that will, from someone other than me, okay? So if my explanation doesn't make sense, there are other people explaining it. One will always be a YouTube, okay? And one will always be just a normal link that takes you to a web page with written steps on how to do it. Okay, so there's always at least 2 different other ways, not from me, that will explain to you how to get through this. Okay, so that's how you learn and how to do the math. Where do you find the worksheet? Where are the answers to the odd problems on the worksheet? How do you do the worksheet? Where are the notes? Where are the links? Okay, that's where you find all of that stuff. If we do go virtual, the exit tickets are also in here. The bell ringers are also in here. And again, it works like a notebook. So as you go down, you're flipping pages over. So just watch for those links and you can see where you need to go next. Okay, so that's how you can learn the material and access the material. Now, how do you turn it in? Okay, so we're going to view assignment. And if I wanted to turn this in, if I had done it on paper or if I had written it out on the PDF, okay, because those of you with touch screens, we now can write on the PDFs, okay, I can add a link or a file, or if I did my work in a Google Docs, or if I did it in a Google Slides or drawings. In fact, actually, if you're working on it, you can actually come in here and do a lot of your work in here, okay? And then you can attach it, and that means I will see it. And then you need to, once you've added something, so we'll go ahead and add in, we'll create a Word doc so that, so that I have something attached to it. And I will say, here is my math homework. There we go. There's my math homework. And in theory, I would actually have math in there. Okay, and now that I've got that on there, okay, when I'm ready to submit, some people forget this step, turn it in, okay, make sure, and I'm going to highlight this, make sure you turn it in, okay, because if you don't turn it in, it doesn't come to me. So make sure you turn it in. Now, some things will be websites that we've linked that go somewhere else. And in that case, instead of turn it in, it'll say something like mark as done. And if you mark it as done, that also tells me they're finished. I need to go check what they did. Okay, so there's the turn in, and I can click that, and it will be submitting. And hopefully that's a complete worksheet that you've got. And you can turn it in, and that will send it to me. Now, if you decide you want to change something, you can always take it back, work on it, and then turn it in again. Okay, and if you've got questions, if you want the whole class to see them, you can put your answers under class comments. If you want just me to see them, you can put it under private comments. Okay, so you can always ask questions. You can always email me for help. Okay, you can always use Remind to text me for help. So there's lots of ways you can get help. And then there is, of course, this as well, and it's got the links. So if my way of explaining it doesn't make sense, you've got other resources to use. So good luck.